hike, literally, and I realized my body's craving a nice stretch. So if you've done any hiking, walking, running, or anything, or you just want a great stretch for your legs, come join me. Let's begin our practice. Just seated at the front of our yoga mat, sitting on our heels. If this isn't comfortable, maybe put a blanket right here. We could always start in easy seated. And let's just close our eyes. Let's start breathing in through the nose and then out through the nose. Just bringing your awareness to your body, to your yoga practice. Just opening up the chest with every inhale. And then exhaling out of that nose. Opening that chest. Feeling that length through your spine. Sitting up nice and tall. Feel free maybe to open your hands by your sides or place them on your lap, whatever feels comfortable. Settling into your yoga practice. Give me another breath here. Inhaling through the nose, filling the lungs full of breath. And then exhaling it slowly out. Slowly open your eyes. We're going to bring our hands to our yoga mats. And then we're going to curl our toes. So coming up onto those toes. And we're going to just kind of roll back onto those heels a little bit. Just adding a little bit of movement. Feels really good after a long day of hiking, or if you've done a lot of walking. So feel free to kind of move back to that foot, spreading those toes. Maybe even pressing it back a little bit if that feels good, or if you want to kind of sit up. What feels good? Stretching out those toes. Take a moment here. Again, this is the beginning of our practice. I always like to start a yoga practice with a little movement, right? Letting out any of that stagnant air. Breathing into those spots of the body that need it today, especially after a long hike. And then we're going to slowly, notice I'm starting to rock. So kind of rock onto your yogi toes, opening the hands. Let's begin to engage that core. Pull that belly button into your spine. Take out that rock and then lift up through and then step it back into a beautiful down dog. Take your time here, pedaling out this down dog. Bending your left knee, bending your right knee. Really lengthen. I like to always shake my head side to side, let go of any tension. And then hold that downward facing dog, pressing your heels into the earth. Can you lift your hips up, relaxing your neck, and just breathe through this lengthen. Take a moment here. We do a lot of hiking, a lot of walking up a hill maybe, or just on a flat trail. We need to really stretch after. So right here, just lengthen through your long, beautiful legs. Keeping that belly button pulled into your spine. Keeping your weight evenly pressed through your hands. And then on our next inhale, we're gonna come to a nice tabletop. Maybe pick up those wrists a little. And just give me a nice cat-cow here. We're gonna inhale, we're gonna drop the belly, lift through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, rounding up that chin to chest feels really good. On that upper back. Today I carried a pack with lots of water. It was much lighter on the way back though. So that's good, right? So breathe into that upper back. Just give me one cat-cow here. One more. Drop the belly. Lift through the crown of your head. Pressing into the tops of the feet. And then exhale, feeling that stretch in that upper back. Bringing that chin to chest. Take a moment here. Maybe another breath. And then slowly curl those toes and make your way back to a downward facing dog. Let's inhale, walk it up to a nice forward fold. Exhale, plant your feet. Hang here in a nice ragdoll just for a moment. And then let's slowly roll it up one vertebrae at a time, finding the beautiful mountain pose, opening up the heart. Let's inhale, arms come up, reach up. And then as you exhale, bringing those hands behind, sliding them into your back pocket, opening up the chest. Maybe give me a slight back bend here, opening it up. Breathe through that chest, really open it up, supporting that lower back. Take another breath here. Exhale it out. And then inhale, come back to center. Let's start moving a little bit. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive into a nice, beautiful forward fold. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step that right leg back, dropping that back knee. Give me a lovely low lunge. Inhale, arms come up. Reach up through, toes to the mat. Feeling that stretch in the front of that quad, lengthening it out. Inhaling here, and then exhale, press those hips back. Let's give those hamstrings a nice little stretch right here. Pressing it back, keeping those hips nice and square. And then inhale, framing this left foot, coming onto your right toes. Let's shake this left leg out behind you. Just nice and easy, nice three-legged dog. Open it up, roll out that ankle. Feels good after a long day. And then exhale, come to your downward facing dog. Let's inhale, I'm coming to a plank, but you can always come onto your toes. Exhale, chaturanga all the way down, toes to the mat. Inhale, give me a nice cobra, roll it up. As you exhale, melt it back down. Inhale, press it up to that tabletop. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk it back up to that forward fold. Exhale, plant your feet. Inhale, slowly roll it up one vertebrae at a time. Take your time, lengthen out. And then inhale, arms come up. As you exhale, take those hands in those back pockets and open up that chest again. Opening it up. Giving that slight back bend, strong core, engaging those inner thighs. Open it up here. One more breath here because it feels so good. Inhale. And then exhale, let it out. Inhale, come back to mountain pose. Release your hands on the exhale. Let's take it back down. Here we go. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step that left leg back, dropping that back knee, toes to the mat. Come on up, give me a low lunge. Keeping those hips square. Now we're getting a beautiful stretch from that left hip flexor. Opening up the heart. Inhale here. And then exhale, press those hips back. Give me those half splits. Right leg comes back, lengthen. Maybe pressing those right toes forward. Feeling that deep stretch in that hamstring. Yeah, feels really good, lengthening. And then let's inhale, bending this front leg, coming onto your left toes, shaking this right leg out behind you. Maybe roll out that ankle, open up the hip a little bit. Make sure you're evenly placing your weight in both hands. And then come to that downward facing dog. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. This time, inhale, can you give me an upward facing dog, opening up the heart. Legs can be on or off the mat. And as you exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk it up to that forward fold. Exhale, hang out right here. Just give me a moment right here. Let's actually take these hands and let's just draw a rainbow from your left ankle to your right ankle. Keeping a soft bend in your legs, relaxing your neck, right? Let that ponytail go. And just feel that release in your lower back. But at the same time, I just put my hands on my hips. We're keeping our hips still. We're just kind of giving a nice length into that lower back, to the back of the legs. Feels really good after hiking. And then exhale, come back to center, holding it here. Can you bring that rib cage a little bit closer to your thighs? Bringing those hips up, lengthening. And now slowly bend your knees, look up. We're gonna come up to a nice mountain pose. You know what to do here. Exhale, bringing those hands back. Give me a nice back bend. Inhale, come back to mountain pose. Moving on, exhale here. Here we go. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take that left leg back. This time, give me a crescent high lunge. Let's open it up right here. Take a moment here in crescent high lunge. Our hips are square, we're bending, we're lengthening through that back leg, finding our strength, lengthening. Inhale here. Can you exhale, open up that heart just like we were doing in those mountain poses, finding a little bit of balance. It's okay to shake, especially if you're doing this right after exercising. It's okay if your legs shake a little bit. Open it up. Exhale it out. Now inhale, arms come up. Exhale, let's pivot. Let's give me a nice warrior two. Open it up. Let's add a little bit of movement here. Let's inhale. I'm just going to straighten nice and easy. I'm going to reach through the top of those fingertips. And then exhale, sink my warrior two a little bit deeper. Let's do that again. 2 more times. Inhale, reach up, feel that lengthen. And then exhale, sink it a little bit deeper. That breath with movement. You're inhaling your arms up. And then exhaling it down. I think that was 3. Let's hold it here. Holding this warrior two, strong core. Inhale here. As you exhale, come on back. Give me that beautiful reverse warrior. Opening up the heart. Take a moment here. Feel that stretch in the inner thigh, but really opening up the chest. And then inhale, come back to warrior two. As you exhale, I'm going to bring my hands to heart. I know it's hard to see. And I'm going to pivot, coming back up, bringing my arms into that crescent high lunge. Inhale here now. As we exhale, come on down, framing this left foot, dropping that hip, and just lengthening right here. I cannot do this pose without adding a twist. So maybe add a nice little twist right here. Opening it up, getting a nice stretch. You should feel this in the outside of that leg. Feel free to drop that back knee. Oh yeah, actually I'm gonna hold it here. That feels pretty delicious. Really reaching up. Breathe it out here, wherever you are. 1 more breath, your full expression, opening it up, breathing into those spots. And then come on down, framing this left foot. Let's come onto our right toes as we shake this left leg out behind, opening up the hip. Take a moment, open it up. And then find your downward facing dog. Inhale, coming back to plank. Feel free to be on your knees. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Legs on or off the mat. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, step it up to that forward fold. Exhale, hold it here. Can you bend a little bit deeper into this forward fold? Maybe this time you grip onto those elbows. Give me a nice little ragdoll. Again, let that ponytail go. Let that head go. Think about bringing that rib cage closer to your thighs, lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Making sure your legs are not locked out, just feeling that deep stretch in your spine and the back of your legs. And then slowly release. On the next inhale, roll it all the way up. Take your time. Your head's been below your heart, especially if you were out hiking a lot today. Take your time, spreading your toes. Standing up nice and tall. Let's move on. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, give me this left leg back. Here we go. Crescent high lunge. Take a moment, the right side. Keeping those hips square, bending in that front leg. Again, really getting a deep stretch through this hip flexor, through that quad. Feels good. And then on your next inhale, let's move in to that beautiful warrior two. Take a moment. Let's add some movement right on this side. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, give me a warrior two. Inhale, length, reach up, feel that stretch. Exhale, sink it down. One more, inhale. And then exhale, holding that warrior two, looking over the top of that right hand, releasing your shoulders, feeling that beautiful stretch. Hold it here. Now inhale, we're gonna come back to that reverse warrior, bringing this right arm, opening up the heart, opening up the chest, that inner thigh, and then exhaling it out. Inhale, come back to warrior two. As you exhale, hands come to heart for balance as you pivot back up to that crescent high lunge. Exhale, framing this right foot. Give me that beautiful low lunge runner style. Feel that deep stretch, and then I gotta do it. I gotta add a twist, pulling this right arm up. I'm actually gonna drop my back knee because that felt really good. Really opening up the heart here. Getting that beautiful stretch to the outside of my right leg now. Breathing into that stretch. And then inhale, framing this right foot, coming onto these toes, taking this right leg back, opening it up. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna run through that one more time, each side. Inhale, step up to that forward fold. Exhale, plant your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time, knees are bent. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Can you give me that open back bend? Inhale, arms come back up to mountain. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right leg comes back, runner's lunge. Crescent high lunge. Woo! Inhale here. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Inhale here, exhale, reverse that warrior. Open up that heart. Inhale, come back to that warrior two. Exhale, pivot, coming up to that crescent high lunge. Inhaling here, exhale, framing that foot, giving me that deep runner's lunge. Maybe now your back knee comes off. Now listen for the change. Inhale here, we're gonna hold it here, come to a plank, a little bit of core. Right here, hold your plank, one breath here, you got this. Exhale it out. Inhale here, now exhale, chaturanga, slowly using your arms as you open up the heart, toes to the mat, and then exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, step it up to that forward fold, plant your feet. Inhale, bending those knees, come on up, reverse swan dive. As you exhale, give me that beautiful back bend. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step that left leg back, come on up. Give me that crescent high lunge. I'm a little wobbly, it was a big hike today. Inhale here, exhale, open it up, warrior two. Inhale here, exhale, reverse that warrior. Inhale, come back to warrior two. As you exhale, come on back up, crescent high lunge, woo, and then frame that right foot, woo, right? Let's go ahead and come right into that twist. I'm a little wobbly today. Last time, my friends, let's hold this plank right here, holding your plank, building a little bit of heat in the core. Strong shoulders, strong core. Take the wrinkles out of your neck. And then inhale here, exhale, slowly come all the way down. All the way down, toes to the mat, and then open it up. Open it up into a nice Sphinx pose. Take a moment, opening the heart. Feels really good. The sun's on my face, so I like to close my eyes. Breathe through it. And then let's come on down. Let's press it on up to a seated position. Take it to the side, onto that side hip. Roll it on over. Let's take it on down. Roll it on down, right? Find that flat back. Let's take this left leg, flexing that foot. We're going to take a reclined pigeon. It's really good after hiking. Let's take our hands behind this right thigh and just gently press it in towards your body. Maybe even take your left elbow and just gently on your inner thigh, press that left knee away. Deep, and you'll feel the stretch right here in that glute area. Breathe into that big, strong muscle. You can hold it here, or option if you want to take a little bit deeper. I got to scooch over. You can release your hands, take this left foot over to the right. So my ankle is still on top of my knee, and I'm just adding a little twist. So my left foot is on the ground, and I can feel a nice stretch in that glute area, opening up the chest, creating length between your shoulder and your ear on your right side. Feels really good after carrying a backpack, hiking. And just breathe, take another moment into this deep stretch. My knee is soft. And then slowly come out. I'm going to scooch back to the middle of my mat and bring both knees into your chest. Roll it out. And then let's take it to the other side. Plant that left leg on the ground so your hips are into the yoga mat, flexing that right foot. Again, you can start here and then come on up, grabbing up that left leg. Feel free, if that's not enough, you can always stay right here. Options. I'm going to take my right elbow, because I did it on the other side, and just kind of gently press it on my inner thigh. Just gently pressing away, feeling that deep stretch. So you're feeling your left leg is coming in and your right knee is going away. So you're feeling that deep stretch. Really lengthening. And then if you want, take those arms out to the side and just take it over until this right foot touches the ground, and then look over that right shoulder. Now really create some space between your left ear and your left shoulder. Enjoying that deep stretch on that right glute now, the other side. And then slowly come back to center, releasing the feet, roll them out, give that lower back a little love. Let's take it to a happy baby. Take those peace fingers and grab onto that big toe, dropping your knees down to the sides. This is where I like to do like horse lips. Releasing any tension. Pressing that back into the mat. Take a moment here. And then slowly release. One more good stretch. So here we go. I'm going to roll myself into a ball. I like to kind of roll myself. We're going to come up to a seated position. So find your way up to a seated position. Now I'm going to take this left leg and I'm going to come underneath. I don't know if it's hard to see. And then my right leg is going to come up and over. And I'm just going to kind of wiggle into this position. Now take your time. For me, I do a lot of hiking, biking, so I tend to have a little bit tighter of hips. So I tend to leave this stretch out, but so good. I'm doing it today. So thanks for doing it with me. Let's take this right knee. If you can get it a little bit closer to your left knee. Make sure you're not, leaning over to the left side. Just hold here. This is so great for your hips. breathe it out right here. If it's in your practice, if you want to take this to a forward fold, that's a little bit deep for me today, but please feel free. Breathe into this right hip. Feel that lengthen, feel that release. Sitting up nice and tall, relaxing your face. One more beautiful breath here, in through the nose, filling up those lungs. Exhale it out here, breathing into these hips, that outer glute area. And then slowly come on out. Let's take it to the other side. So take your time, bringing this right knee underneath. And then taking the left leg now. It's okay to kind of wiggle into it. So as you can see, this is my right ankle is right by my left glute. So my stacking my left knee on top of my right knee, sitting up. Yeah, feeling it right here. This side's a little bit better for me. Sitting up nice and tall. Breathe it out. Breathing into those hips. Exhaling it out. Inhale here. Full, deep, cleansing breath. Sometimes these tricky postures, we want to kind of like restrict our breath. We need that breath. Send that breath to the spots that are tight, to the hips, to the glutes. Relaxing the face, holding on to any tension, just lengthening. And then slowly come out. Okay, light, I'm gonna do one more pose. One more, let's get the front of those legs. So maybe shake it out a little bit. Maybe come on up. Let's take this left foot and we're gonna bring it to our glute. And we're gonna extend this right leg long. And we're gonna inhale here and then we're gonna slowly exhale. I'm gonna come onto my elbows and then come all the way down. Pressing that left knee into the yoga mat. I always like to keep my hands on my hips, keeping my hips grounded. And now getting that front of the leg, that quad, a nice deep stretch all the way from your knee, all the way up to your hip bone. Just focusing on the left side. Relaxing your face. Maybe for you it feels good to open your arms to a T. Every breath, send it to that beautiful muscle group, the front of your leg in this one, lengthening. And then slowly come to that flat foot. And then we're gonna roll it on up. Come on. Sitting up nice and tall, straight legs in front of you. Let's inhale, arms come up. As you exhale, just give me a nice forward fold. Feels really good on that spine. Pressing your hips back, lengthening through the back of the legs, just like we did in those forward folds. And then inhale, come on up. Let's do it, take it to the right side. So I'm gonna bend my right leg, my right heel is toward my glute. There's a straight line between my knees. I kind of sit up on my sit bones. And then slowly roll it all the way down. If your knee pops up, that's okay, just bring it back down. It's okay, sometimes getting into this posture can be a little tricky. Doesn't look the prettiest, but it's okay. Oh yeah. Again, making sure that you're not, your body might want to lean to the left. So that's why I like to press my hands on my hip bones, keeping my hips square. And then sending my breath to the front of my leg, that quadricep. And actually, I'm going to open up a little bit. That feels really good. Lapsing your face, maybe closing your eyes. Breathing into that beautiful quad. Holding these deep stretches for a few breaths today. Getting a nice deep stretch. One more here. Exhale it out fully. And slowly come onto that right foot. This time, bring both knees into your chest. One more time. Shake it out. Roll it out. Oh, yeah. And then when you're ready, my friends, let's just take a nice little Shavasana, sealing in our practice, letting those ankles open, opening your hands, and just taking in a moment. Just feeling how soft your legs feel, how warm. Relaxing your face, feeling your breath with your yoga practice. Try not to let your mind wander. Maybe take yourself back to your hike today. What were some of the smiles you saw today? Or you smelled today? What were some of the colors that you saw? How did it feel to have maybe the sun on your face? Or the wind? There was a slight wind. Stay here, my friends. One more breath. Exhale it out. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Coming out of your relaxed state, bringing your awareness back to the room you're in. Go ahead and bring those knees into your chest. Give your body a nice hug. And then let's just make it up to a nice, easy seated position. We'll end our practice today. Let's take one final breath. Inhale, arms come up. And then as you exhale, let out all that breath. Bringing your hands to heart, sealing in your beautiful yoga practice today. Thank you for doing this yoga practice with me today. Namaste.